This is the beginning of the build. It's the Michelangelo Universal Studios Monster NECA secondary head sculpt, He-Man Viking, and Playmates Turtles in Disguise. This is all the parts and pieces that I use for this build. Playlist will be on the channel. Thank you for watching. And this is how it turned out. This is a real quick comparison. We're going to break down what I did with Michelangelo here with some paint and a little bit of the stuff about the base. So here we go. Here's the dark side of Michelangelo. All right, so now that we're done, I'm just going to go over real quick some of the primary paints that I used and get a couple close-ups. I'm going to have to pull it off the stand and get it close because my camera's not in the best shape. If I try to focus in, I get an error. It's kind of broke, so I need to get another camera. But anyway, so the primary build was some olive green. You guys know what olive green is. It's from Model Air. I don't have it in front of me, but it's just an olive green. A turtle, you can use any color you want to do. I went kind of the darker 90s turtle. And then on the shell, I used a combination of the exact paint is the Createx yellow and the Wicked Createx, whatever this is, the pearl orange, to soften it up the body for the actual, the shell there. And then I went over top it with some brown. I used Model Air leather brown. Any brown will work. And then for his chest, to change it up a little bit, I hit it with some primer, white primer, matte primer for more paint. And then I went over top of it with this yellow orchard, detailed yellow orchard. This is great reptile color. It looks dark in the bottle, but it comes out light. Very weird. I don't know. Then I went in with the primary orange. I used the Pueblo, whatever that you guys can read. I only can paint. I can't read. But anyway, a Pueblo color, any orange would do. I try to match up what I had for the head sculpt because I was basically going off the head sculpt from the Mummy, Universal Studios Mummy, the secondary head sculpt. So I was trying to match everything with that. And then with his axe when it comes around the corner here, and we'll get a little closer here in a second, I use some Quaver, whatever. It's a metallic. I mean, any metallic would do. I picked up a couple color metallics. This is more like a copper, lighter copper, opposed to like a darker copper. I used on the axe, but we'll get to that in a second. And like I said, I did hit everything that's metal in here or his armor. I used the gunmetal for a dry brush first. Then I went in with my oranges. And then for the the turtle ooze that's coming out that doesn't really look exactly like the turtle ooze from the movies or the cartoon, obviously, but I did use some transparent dark green with some of this glow in the dark green, which you can see a little bit right there. But like I said, I'll get a little closer. I kind of try to make it a little different. Didn't want to make it one solid bright color. It just reminds me of the Predator when it goes like that. But we'll get a little closer here. Let me see here. Let me turn this thing off. Turn this thing off here, man, so you don't fall off the thing. But I went with the He-Man head sculpt that came with the Viking because I thought the Viking head sculpt for the He-Man was probably one of the worst that I ever seen in a figure. But that's why I decided to cut him up and put a chain through his head. But that's real quick, and here or there it's kind of fast. I was gonna put the power sword, He-Man's power sword, in his hand, but I decided not to. I decided to go with, taking somebody out, so he took him out. So let's get him off the base. I did put a metal rod in his foot just so the base where he can stay up, because he is kind of top heavy. So real quick, like I said, I like the axe. I like the axe more than anything. I don't know why. I do have some videos coming up. They're going to be in some playlists, and I do have some breakdown videos if you're interested in watching. If you want to check it out, they'll be on the channel within this week or next week. Unfortunately, right in the middle of it, or right in the middle of the video, I got a phone call to take it. But anyway, the axe here got him out of his hand. I used the metallic, man. I like the axe more than anything. I could have did a couple more things to it. I don't like the sculpt. Like I said, I did a video and you can see that sculpt where that was from the molding process. I could have sanded that down. That's where I messed up. But I'll keep it maybe the other way so it's facing out like that. But it looks, that metallic I love the metallic against that gunmetal. Anyway, okay, there we got to get past that. Okay, let's get a little closer to Michelangelo, He-Man, the dark side of Michelangelo. So here he is. Let me get back this light so it doesn't blind everybody, blind him to death, and so anybody can see what's going on here, so it doesn't make it wash out the colors like I've done before. So metal gun gray all through the armor, black down through here. Did some silver rivets there. Now, took my time with this one to get my. This is just tedious is just going through. Had to do 2 coats with this, and I did get the back part. See back here, I did put. If you can see down there or not, I don't know if you can see too good, but that's multi-put back there. Let me see if I can get the light back there. That's multi-put. I know it looks weird like this because his back is kind of, you can see through there where it's not connected, but I could have put some multi-put back there to make it look like it was connected, but maybe that's where I messed up here. Maybe that's where I didn't follow through. I don't know. I just didn't want it. I don't know. I don't know. If he was a human, more human than he was a turtle, maybe let's pretend it's not there in this universe. I don't know, but that's multi-put down there. And I used I added some black to the olive green to make it look like his skin was connected to the shell, like the traditional turtles are. But it does bother me a little bit back here that it does have a space, but I don't know. I could that bothers me, but it is, okay, that's a lesson learned there. That's a lesson learned. Okay. Anyway, so there we go. Getting real close here for you so you can see that the time, it just takes time to hit those. That's the only thing that was long about this process, was hitting all the spots on here, that trying to get really close so you can see that. Took my time, man. Took my time with those little lines. That took my time. And I did do some red break back here on the scars to break it up a little bit, so it just wasn't just, I'm using the sculpt for what it is, and I'm getting much out of it I can with attention to detail on this one. But yeah, you can see better back there, a lot better. I probably should have done that back there. I wanted his nunchucks hanging off the back, just hanging. I didn't want to put them in the loop. It just looked better hanging. I tried that. Now, the hardest part of this build, which, it was really fun. This was fun, man. This was fun. I'm glad I did the chest. I wasn't going to do the chest. I was talking to my daughter about it last week, and she said, yeah, you should do it. And I said, okay, well, if that just confirmed my suspicions about what to do. The knife right here comes in and out, but I'm just going to leave it in there. No big deal. Copper, same colors. The bottom down here, I did some white, and then I did some light grays, and I did a little bit of lighter gray to make it look a little different, break it up a little bit. The feet, they move and stuff, and back here. But the only thing that was a 3 steps forward, 8 steps back for me on this build, and I'm going to learn now what I learned from this one. Let me get back here. See back here? I had to cut these and shave them out so they would fit on his legs, because he's much bigger than the turtle that they came off of, like right here on his elbows and knees. Well, I super glued them. I didn't want to hold them like this for forever, because it's a tight fit, extremely tight fit, and I didn't want to make them too loose. So my son gave me some of that spray, that instant spray, that you take some super glue and it's like it just instantly hardens it. You spray on there where, I don't know, the hardener, adhesive, whatever, but it went everywhere. I had to do some sanding down and then repaint it, do some touch up. But that's the only thing in it. And what I learned after doing it the hard way, like here, in the crack in the corners, right here's where I cut them, is hold it together. If you ever do this, put a little bit of super glue on it, get an old brush, put it inside your activator, your super glue activator, and wipe it on there a little bit, put a little bit more super glue activator. It's way more clean than it is spraying it on there. But the stuff's great. I love it. So over here, these are 2 bands, not one. It came with the turtle that I took this apart, and it was the Playmates Turtles in Disguise 12. It's about $12.50 online from Walmart or Target. You can see them available. They're available at those 2 places, and that's where the shell came from. The knee pads, and these are one on each arm. I decided to double it up so it has a double a double wrist leather thing going on. And I went with white. I went with a whitish gray after it went black, and then I dry brushed it with gunmetal like I do everything else in the world. And I went with some really light gray, almost white. It was a stone gray or whatever it was. I don't know. Any gray will do. Same thing down here with the boots. I blackened out where the cloth is here. And the only thing I did that I do like, you probably can't see, or here we go. I put imperfections on the skin, which was, you can see it there. See all the dots and shit, and like here, the imperfections on the turtle, like they do in the 90s. They're all over them, which is kind of cool. You can't see it, but you can see it if you look for it. But it's like everywhere. It's great. It turned out and what I did was, that was a speckle effect. I took the brush and I was going whoosh, 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 you know, just let the brush speckle on there. Well, it took forever to get it on the turtle. But when I was done, it was all over my mirror, all over the monitor, it was all over everywhere. But hey, man, as long as it worked out as a good product, I don't care where it went. So, like I said, the Heman head sculpt, stupid, dumb. I just took some plastic, burnt it up with the Dremel, colored it up, colored him out, put the chain through his head, just to add a little effect instead of just him standing there doing nothing. So that I kind of like doing that kind of stuff with the builds I do. Now, coming to the base, I don't have much for the base. The base is just, let me take that off here and take this off. It's foam. See, it's just foam. That's all it is. It's installation foam for houses. You can get it anywhere. Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. I do have a little bit of video showing how I did it, but I stopped as I was going because I did not know how I was going to do it. I did not have a clue how I was going to do it. I didn't know where I was going with it, what I was doing. But before we get to the base, let me show you like something simple here. Everything was black, just black apple barrel, a $3 jug of it. It's pretty big. Then I went in light gray, stone concrete gray, typical dry brushing type thing. Then I went in with black and went all around the edges to dirty up, and I sprayed it light mist over top the bricks. These bricks are, Kobe gave me a mold. He 3D printed me a mold for brick, and this is what that is, and you'll see it in the video if you decide to check out the channel that I'm going to put up this week. And then I went in right around here a few times. It took quite a bit of time. I mean, it looks messy kind of on accident, but it was easy. That was an easy messy job. It was easy. And I went around it. It probably doesn't show too much on camera, but you can see the black, real thin line, real thin 2 needle, 2.0 needle. Went around and hit it black, and then misted the bricks black so it wasn't so bright and vibrant. Then I had some paper clips my youngest daughter gave me because I was using wire. This is just paper clips. They're probably not the scale size of this for being rebarb, but it worked good enough, and it's what I had. You can't see, but they're red. Some spots I did hit it with some rust looking color, but not heavily where you could really, it'd be so pronounced. So now that's the same thing I did with this piece right here. And then for the base, I went in. What I did here, I tried to dry brush it. Didn't work. This is the first time this is all airbrushed. And I'm happy, and I'm like proud to say to myself that, wow, it's not the best. The first time ever I airbrushed the diorama opposed to brushing. And for me, it was like, okay, cool. Now I'm on my way. Maybe I can get a little further and a little bit better with my detail, and a little bit better with blending, and better with the airbrush. So I went in with I just sprayed it down with leather brown, and then after I tried to dry brush it, I went back to black. I painted all over again, apple barrel black. But this was all flat. This wasn't like that. This was all flat. You'll see in the video. I went and cut out with my hot wire and cut all this stuff out, and I lowered the actual base here, and I cut up little rocks and put it in there. Not little rocks, little pieces of foam, and made them look like and I hot glued them all in there. Everything's airbrushed, and like I said, I missed it around. Same thing goes up high here. It looks like it's dingy and dirty, and it's all, Mad Max type of old stuff. And I went real black in the cracks there so it could separate what was going on. And I did dry brush the rocks though with gray, a dark gray. That is it. That's the only thing I did dry brush. And I went in after I went into the dark areas with black, after it was brown, and I went and hit with some light caramel. That's caramel, believe it or not. So yeah, this caramel highlights. It's not great, I know that, but I'm kind of happy how it turned out because it's the first time I ever airbrushed a diorama. And then I went around the rocks with the airbrush and hit all the round spots. I didn't use any wash. At least I don't think I did. But I might hit some brush around the rocks down there or something like that in black. But I might have. But 90% of this was just airbrush. And I did hit the rebarb again where it looks, you know, gray and red and dark. But yeah, man, that is it. I don't want to hold you up too long. I appreciate you guys watching. That's the turtle, man. That's it, man. That's Michelangelo and his darker side of it in another universe where he's mad as hell. And he's going to cut it up and crank it up. You know what I'm saying? So technical difficulties today. My camera cut out. Anyway, this is the end of it. I appreciate you guys watching. Thinking about maybe doing another turtle in this fashion. Maybe Donatello and down here in the, you know, down here doing a half moon like this one is, putting some more bricks and stuff like that, and some walls falling over. Maybe in a Skeletor body instead, like Revelations. But I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you hanging around. I'll see you in the next one.